The Civil Rights Act of 1964 gave the federal government the authority.
When you hear a person complain about the Civil Rights Act of 1964, an act which made it illegal to discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, you are probably listening to a person spewing white supremacist talking points. Not always, but usually.
To mandate that a white-owned business has to serve everybody, has to hire everybody, cannot discriminate on the basis of sex, on the basis of race, on the basis of this, that, and the third. The federal government, in a tyrannical way, imposed itself in the inner workings of small companies. This is unconstitutional. The federal government does not have the right to do that.
Stop, because you're not making no sense. This is one thing that I really dislike that you do. You're trying to manipulate something to go to your narrative. The Civil Rights Act, you just said it, said that any business, you cannot prohibit from hiring them, for serving them, yada, yada, yada. And then you turn around and say, so that's the federal government inserting themselves in small business practices.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Let me just tell you your manipulation, because what the federal government is doing is actually making sure that people are created equally.
I think she meant to say treated equally, but the point is still valid.
If somebody is handicapped, if somebody has green eyes, if somebody is gay, you can't say, I'm not going to hire you because
you can say that. You should be able to say that. That's your right to say that. Yeah, and you know why? Because there's other sandwich shops. There's other coffee shops. The fact is, if you are the only business on the block who is known for, we don't serve Negroes, and there's 5 other coffee shops who do, guess what? You have the right to go to those other coffee shops and run that lone business that doesn't serve Negroes, run them out of business. This is how it works in a free market.
The guy in the video boiled the act down to the federal government mandating a white-owned business having to serve everybody. It's his take that there are enough businesses out there where people can make that decision for themselves. Now, it's my opinion that people who espouse these talking points don't think them through to their logical conclusion. This would be the ability to critically think, which I believe they sacrifice on the altar of their belief in white supremacy. And let us make no mistake, the ability to legally and arbitrarily discriminate is a tenet of white supremacy. So let's take it down to its logical conclusion. If a private business should be allowed to serve whomever it wants, does that include bank loans? How about checking accounts? Could a mortgage lender decide not to let borrowers get a mortgage because they are, let's say, black? What about a landlord? A car dealership? Can grocery stores get in on this? Deciding not to sell food to someone or some group they arbitrarily decide? Your I'll just go to another store could be flawed if all the stores band together and decided to discriminate against you or the group you belong to. Well, I guess you could say, I just opened my own store. That is, if the manufacturers hadn't arbitrarily decided not to sell to you or your group. Let's not act like this sort of thing can't happen. This sort of thing did happen in the antebellum South during slavery. So, as it should, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 made it illegal for discrimination to happen on the basis of, well, mainly race. Let's be honest. It says race, color, sex, religion, or national origin, but people won't know a great majority of those things unless you tell them. They can usually see race. So it boggles the thinking person's mind to hear a black person espouse these talking points. It's like if a black person says that slavery was a good thing.
Saying what I think about it.
You think slavery was a good thing?
Yes.
Well, there's that.